Ron,
Hey, Bo.
this is podcast number 2.
Number 2. Yep.
Of 99,436.
They've got a lot of listening to do.
We got a lot of talking to do.
We do. I know. This is good.
We're still new at this podcast, so how long do you do a podcast? Do you do it for a month and then we're done? Our obligations are over?
Yeah.
Is that okay with you?
I think that's probably it. Yeah. I know. There's so many angles on this. I have no clue. We run out of stuff to say or feel like we've bored everybody to death or whatever, and then that's it.
But if we say their name,
yeah,
then they'll get excited and maybe stick with us.
Exactly. It's shout-outs.
Sally in Chino Valley.
Exactly.
Now she's really excited. She's going to stay another 3 or 4 podcasts to hear her name again.
Sally's hooked now. She's just
did we bring her in?
The subscribe button and donate, Sally, too.
What is the subscribe button?
Yeah,
I know.
Yeah.
We're on YouTube.
Oh man, that is good. Yep. You hanging in there?
Yeah, everything's good. Life goes on, right?
Yeah, I know.
We have good days and bad days.
Yep. It's been one of those like full weeks this week.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, my wife, God bless her, she's so good. She's a school teacher.
Yeah.
And if she wasn't a school teacher, well, I don't know, because I'm not married to any other type of woman. Your wife probably does similar stuff.
Yeah.
But if I wasn't married to a school teacher, the kids would be sitting on the couch from Monday to Friday, not doing anything.
Right. Yeah.
Just sit and be quiet, kids.
Yeah.
But my wife has them in sports, in school activities, and after-school activities.
Yep.
I mean, I'm worn out.
Yeah, I know. I know. I'm more tired just watching all of these activities. I don't know how the kids
No,
make
you
it
said
through.
a hard week. I mean, my wife sends me an email on Monday.
Yep.
We got baseball tonight, volleyball tomorrow night. We have nothing on Wednesday.
Yep.
Thursday, the kids have to do this. I said, what are you doing? We need an event coordinator.
I know, exactly. Yeah, I don't care for the waking up, rushing to get lunches made, getting everything set, dropping off at school, then soon after school, then they got to crank out the homework and then get over to this practice and then run over to this activity. And
their crappy, unappreciative attitude.
I know. Jeez,
No,
they're
I'm teasing.
Encroaching on my nap time.
We have the best kids in the world.
Oh my gosh, that's for sure. And
We're
the
so
best
lucky.
wives. We are. Yeah,
Absolutely.
we're in good shape.
So, do your kids play sports?
Yeah, Braddock, our oldest, he if it were up to him, he would play every sport. He would just go from one to the next.
Well, that's neat.
Which is cool. He has some that are more favorite than others, but he's the athlete.
Okay.
Brody likes sports. He's enjoying soccer mostly, but he could kind of take it or leave it. He's not driven by all the sports.
And I would say, Leilani, knowing
Yep.
your daughter is probably into lacrosse.
Yeah, exactly. 4-year-old lacrosse. the sticks are taller than she is, and so we'll figure out what she's pretty active. I think she's a little more like Braddock, so we'll see how that ends up.
So it turns out that my daughter is a very good, I think. I'm probably biased, but I think she's a very good soccer player.
Yeah, that's cool.
I think she's really got into it.
Yeah.
I mean, met her match.
Yeah.
Whatever the phrase is.
Yeah.
And now she plays volleyball at the YMCA.
Oh, yeah, that's cool.
At the risk of upsetting people listening, hello, is this on? Do we have any listeners? They play volleyball, and what that means is you serve the ball, and it either goes out of bounds, off your wrist, or in play.
Yep.
And that's when the opposing team looks at it and jumps away from the ball, and it bounces on the floor. That's their volleyball.
It's not quite Olympic
No,
volleyball
caliber.
yet. Yeah. Oh, gosh.
My son is a baseball player,
Yeah.
and I get excited watching these games.
That's fun. I was talking to you last night or the night before on the phone. We were just chatting, and I think you were at the practice of the game. And
It was a baseball game, yeah.
yeah, and you interrupted our conversation by yelling out a couple of times.
So you called me about 5 minutes. I'm out at the park, and you called me about 5 minutes before the game was about to start.
Yep.
So I said, I got time to take this call.
Yep.
And then it goes about 5 minutes into the game, but I'm talking to you, and I'm keeping an eye on the field.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, hit Ron! Run! Ron said, "What was that?" I was listening, but I was screaming at my kid.
Okay, so we have, people learn to have some sort of filters or sensors at some point. Maybe you less than others, but so if you didn't have to concern yourself with what anybody was, would you be more, vocal, or is your default just to kind of whatever?
I think, and I say this to everybody.
Yeah.
At a cocktail party, in a school setting, I say to everybody.
Yeah.
And I do a lot of prefacing.
Yeah.
I'm a horrible prefacer.
Yeah.
And so much that I can tell the people that I'm talking to start rolling their eyes and go, just get to the point.
Yeah.
But I'm a horrible prefacer, and the preface of choice is, I have no filter. So, and I probably shouldn't say this, but I'm going to say
That's good. Okay.
But yeah, I wouldn't go any more outrageous or any less inhibited.
Yeah.
More inhibited, I guess.
Yeah. So, from the sidelines, whatever the sport, you're going to be involved, you're going to be into it. But what type of dad are you as far as, if they just try their best,
right.
Are you good? Do you care much if they struggle or not? Or
that's interesting. I learned when my kids were, I don't know, about 5 or 6,
yeah.
real little.
Yeah.
And it's their first year at soccer, and my wife pushed me into coaching.
Yeah.
And I got all nervous, never played soccer. I played football, I played basketball, but I never played soccer, and I got all nervous, and I went to YouTube, and I watched how to coach soccer videos and videos of soccer matches.
Yeah.
Anxiously getting prepared for this 5-year-old soccer team.
Yep.
And so I go down and I get the cones and I put them there and I put the little goal that you bring to the practice. And I said, okay, kids, get in 2 lines and kick it in like layups. And,
You're right, right.
They couldn't do it. And I said, oh, wow. And the second week, we were at a park.
Yeah.
Not at the ballpark. We were at a regular park.
Gotcha.
And I said, we're not going to teach these kids. They're 5 years old. You're not going to teach them a play. You're not going to teach them how to kick it straight.
Right.
And so I said, guys, you see that big tree? There was a tree that had to be 80 feet tall. And I said, everybody, line up, get your ball in front of you, and I want you to kick it and go around that tree and come back. And I said, on your mark, get set, go. Took them about 20 minutes to get down to the other side of the park around that tree. And I said, I'm not going to teach them any plays, but I'm going to condition them.
Right, that's for sure.
And that's the truth.
Yeah.
And we did that every play. And the parents didn't care. They just said, hey, my kid is so pent up. You're wearing them out. It's great. They go to bed after practice.
Yeah, that's good.
So that's what we did. And then it took me about 2 seasons.
Yeah.
And, my brother and sister had kids older than my kids, so I heard all those stories, picking dandelions in the middle of stuff.
Yeah.
And so it took me about 2 seasons, and I'm sitting with all the parents and run, kick it, kick it, go, move.
Yeah.
And it took me about 2 seasons, and I said, a light bulb just went off. And I said, wait a minute. We want our 6-year-old to have a 45-year-old brain.
Right, yeah.
The reason they don't run or kick it or shoot it is because they don't have the brain. They don't know what they're doing.
It's true.
And I had that epiphany, and it was great. The rest of the soccer season was fantastic. Years after, it was fantastic. At my daughter's soccer game, my son's, male, female,
that's cool.
Different ages. It was fantastic.
That's good.
And then years later, my kid got into a second sport, baseball.
Yep.
And I just lost it. I mean, what do you do? Throw the ball. He's stealing second. Pick it up.
Yep.
I mean, and I just, to the point where, and you didn't ask this question to lead into this answer, but to the point where I got a warning from an umpire.
Oh, man.
But anyways, I guess I shouldn't bring it up and then say we'll talk about it later. But it was just it was a crazy story.
That's too good.
When you're playing baseball, the coach is in there, and the kids don't know to put their helmets on, and the kids don't know I'm next at bat. They have no idea.
Right.
So you're sitting there going, okay, Johnny, you're next. Pay attention. Billy, you're after Johnny.
Right.
And they don't know. Where's my hat?
Right.
Look, hey, there's a baseball.
Yep.
They don't know what they're doing.
Exactly, no.
And so my kid, they pitch. Everybody gets to pitch now, and they pitch about an inning
Yep.
because they don't want to wear out their arm or your shoulder.
And that's just to, like, everybody gets a shot.
Yes.
It's the fairness thing.
That's
or
right.
Whatever. Okay.
Yeah. And so I
So
hear,
even, the amputee kid that doesn't have arms, they make him pitch.
he's the backstop.
We're not supposed to talk about that.
No. So anyways, my kid's going to pitch.
Yeah.
And so I said, come on over here, son, and get your glove, and
Right.
and I'll just stand over there and
Yeah.
throw me a couple, warming him up.
Right.
And the baseball game's going on.
Yep.
And I'm on the outside on the pavement warming my kid up, and the first base ump in the middle of the game turns around and says, you can't warm up your pitcher. You can't. And I said, what are you talking about? It's my kid. Tell me what I can do and can't do without me. You can't. You have to have a player warm up their player.
Oh, no.
And the reason I was warming up my kid, because when my kid throws it to the other kid, it rolls 100
Right.
feet away, and you don't
Exactly.
get warmed up.
Right.
So I said, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
And I went and got another kid, although I begrudgingly, I went and got another kid.
Right.
And so and it was done. So
Yeah.
then the inning ends, and I'm back in my bleacher, 2 feet away from the game, and the umpire says to the coach, hey, listen, no coach, no parent is allowed to warm up the kid. Only players can warm up the kid. And the coach goes, oh, okay.
Ugh.
Live and learn. And then the ump says, he turns and points to me, I said that to him, and he gave me a hard time.
Oh, pointing at you.
Yeah. And I'm thinking, you want to yell at the coach, you want to yell out the rule, that's fine.
Yeah.
But after that, you added an opinion.
Right.
So I stood up and I said, tell the truth, I went and got the coach, the kid. I went and got the kid.
Oh, man.
He said, that's your first warning. I said, that's fine. I'll take the first warning, but at least tell the truth.
Oh, my God.
And he said, I'm telling you, that's your warning. Next one, and you're out of the park. I made a complete fool
my
of myself
gosh.
by arguing with the ump.
Oh, man.
But, they make up these
That
rules.
is
Every game, it's a new rule. So you live and learn.
This is Little League. I'm not taking you to a Diamondbacks
No.
game or a Dodgers game or anything. 'Cause
No way.
Yeah.
I'll get in a fist fight.
Exactly. They'll be texting security from their section to,
Yeah.
pounce on
And
you.
they say, 1% of the kids go to the majors, right?
Yeah.
Major League Baseball,
Yeah.
NFL.
Yes.
You have no chance. So why
No.
do you worry about it? But you just want everything to be so perfect.
Yeah, I outlived any sort of ability to coach past like 5-year-olds, once
Yes.
because after like at 5 or 6 maybe, you don't need to know anything about the sport.
That's right.
If they're having a good time and they're not killing each other, then
You're
and like
absolutely
you
right.
said, you're wearing them out, then you're good.
Yeah.
But after that, I go, I don't really know how to play football. I don't really know how to play basketball that well. I don't know the rules and the strategy and all of that. And so now I moved then from the field to the bleachers or the sidelines. But Braddock, when he did 5-year-old flag football.
Okay.
And that's so little. They're so tiny, and they could not grasp the concept of when they were supposed to be running one direction or running the other, or now I stop people and now I don't, and it was too confusing. But
And how many shorts got pulled down to the ankles reaching for the flags?
yeah, way too many. And the jersey that he got that year was like a dress. I mean, it went all the way to the ground. He's 12 now and can still wear the same jersey he wore at 5. But yeah, that he was always so. He wasn't always the best one on the field,
Right.
But he worked the hardest,
Well, that's good.
and I don't have that gift at all.
You
and
do-
so
yes, you do.
It was really cool to watch in my boy, like, because I don't have the sport talent, or if I'm not good at something right away, I hate doing it. If I can't tell, so like snowboarding or anything, if I'm like, man, I don't think I'm going to be able to do it well right out of the gate, then I don't want to try it. Braddock is a risk taker, and he'll go for it.
That's
and
great.
He'll learn, and then he'll get really, really good, and I wish I had that
So
ability.
did you play sports in high school growing up?
A little bit, yeah. I mean, I did.
How would you characterize your high school sports career?
sporadic, lame.
No.
No, it was I have no, like, literally zero killer instinct.
Okay.
And I have zero competition gene.
That's
and so
difficult.
that makes sports hard. So I did football, but you can't do football if you don't like hurting people, and I ended up in kind of lame sports that you could kind of be doing alone,
Okay.
like track,
Okay.
because I can run
Tennis.
fast, and then I did tennis,
And that's okay.
but I did basketball when I was little. You do everything. So I did
Right.
basketball, and I did little league baseball and soccer, but then I couldn't be bothered.
I'm
the
sorry
game.
I asked that question because I'm making myself anxious. When I was in Pop Warner football, and there's a mentality, right, in
Right,
sports.
right.
Basketball, coach,
Yeah.
the mentality is
Right.
different than football.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And that reminds me of the George Carlin bit, right?
Yes.
Football versus baseball.
Right.
And we'll get into that at a later
Yeah,
date.
that's a good one.
But football has got a weird mentality.
Yep.
Got to go kill them, knock their
Yeah.
head off.
Right.
And so I was, Pop Warner,
Right.
Pee-wees, what are you?
Yeah.
6, 7,
Yeah,
8, 9,
yeah,
with a
maybe,
football
yeah,
helmet
yeah.
that you can barely hold.
Right.
Your neck can't even hold the helmet. And we would run plays,
Yeah.
You'd have to block this way and block that way, and then he
Right.
runs past you.
Right.
And I would get up to the line, and here comes some guy, and I would just
Yeah.
cower.
Yeah.
So much so that my Pee-wee Pop Warner coaches nicknamed me Bambi.
Oh man.
And
That
you go-
is- that's not a good.
And you go, that's
sports
funny,
nickname."
that's cute, whatever. But they meant it.
Right.
I mean, it's horrible.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's like, why do you want to fight for some guy that's making fun of you? I mean, it was,
Right.
but that was the football
Yeah.
mentality.
Exactly.
I migrated towards basketball.
Yeah. Yeah.
know.
We're both tall guys,
Yeah.
so that helps. But that's the thing with basketball. Like, as a kid, so I'm 6'3", and was 6'2" by the time I was 12 or 13 or 14.
And 150 pounds
Yeah.
wet.
Yeah, exactly. and so I was tall and lanky, and so they always put me in like a center or
Yeah.
something. But then, like, Steve Nash was 6'3", and he looks like this puny guy out on the court. So
Yeah.
if you stay in it long enough, I would never be a center.
Yeah, that's
in the
that's
NBA.
right. The 6'3", 6'4", 6'5", 6.
Yeah.
High school
Yeah.
turn into point guards.
Yeah.
And not a lot of them have the dribbling skills.
Right.
So you
Yeah.
have to be that tall, and then you have to have dribbling skills
Right.
to,
Yeah.
to go to the next level.
Yeah.
Yeah. If I could tell you a story. So we played in San Diego high school basketball.
Yeah.
We were in a small league,
Yeah.
and we won our division, and we went to the CIF finals, and we played in the San Diego Sports Arena. And that was pretty impressive.
a
We
big
were
deal.
a
Yeah.
lot of fun. And this just happened about 3 weeks ago. So I had a VHS, maybe it was a beta tape,
Wow.
those old
Yeah.
tapes
Yeah.
of the game at the San Diego Sports Arena.
Wow.
And I remember it this way. I remember it this way that I scored. This is true.
Yeah.
Because you're nervous and you're
Right.
scared and you're tight.
Right.
And I remember it this way that I scored the first 4 points of the game.
Wow.
I didn't score. I wasn't the leading scorer,
Right.
but
But
I
you
had
got it
that
going.
personality
Yeah.
where I had that nervous energy and I could get it going.
Yep.
Get everybody settled down.
That's cool.
And I remembered it that way.
Yep.
And I recently, 3 weeks ago, transferred the VHS, the beta tape, to a DVD.
Yep.
And I brought it home, and I tell the kids every month, every
Yep,
year,
yep.
your dad scored the first 4 points in the San Diego championship game at the
Yep.
San Diego Sports Arena.
Yep.
And I do that on purpose, and they roll their eyes, and I just, anyways. And so I get the DVD, and I said, this is great. The kids are going to come home, and I'm going to prove it to them. So I'm waiting, and I pop the DVD. They come home, and I said, kids, here's the DVD. I paid $17 to get it transferred.
Yeah.
I'm going to
Yeah.
prove it to you.
Yep.
I didn't score the first 4 points. And I remembered it that way. And I wasn't doing it as a joke. I remembered it that way. It's weird.
Right. Oh, that's so funny. And I like
kids,
that you didn't. I like that you didn't double check or preview before you.
Well, and I did it, and my kids were sitting on the floor in front of the television, and somebody scored.
Oh, man.
And my kids slapped the floor, the carpet with their hands. Oh, I'm telling everybody. And they rode me for a week.
Oh, man.
But,
that's too good.
Yeah, that's good.
That is too good. I like that. It's weird. Those memories, we can
revision history, right?
Yeah, exactly.
It's funny, and I didn't mean to do that. I wasn't doing it as a joke. I really thought that was it.
Yep. That's probably protective at some point. You know, helpful.
Yeah. No, I always told them, I said, I scored the first 4 points, and my bookend twin, the other forward, Stuart Beeler, got his picture in the newspaper.
Yep. So what were your parents like, sideline or bleacher parents or whatever? I mean, were they
No, my dad was
as...
my dad did not do anything with me.
Yeah.
But he was, he had a bunch of back surgeries and stuff.
Yeah,
and he wouldn't get dirty.
Yeah.
So, no, I would just have to, Friday night, after homework, Friday night, everybody wanted to watch Dallas.
Yeah. Oh, man.
The hottest show on TV. And I went out with my boom box.
Yep.
In the on the driveway, and I shot from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. And then I played basketball. But no, my parents weren't very participatory,
right.
taking me around, throwing the ball to me, playing with me at all.
Yeah.
And then, but I don't remember them as nervous or screaming or yelling.
Yeah.
I think they just watched.
Yeah.
They were at every game.
Yeah. So with him as a radio guy, you growing up, was it a lot of just kind of listening to him on the radio that kind of intrigued you, or were there times where you got to go into a studio with him or that sort of thing?
Well, we'd been around studios, but that wasn't much. That was not very impressive. I mean, it was neat.
Right.
It was neat having an inside seat.
Yep.
And it was always at the dinner table.
Yeah.
But no, I would, and he would say things. I remember, this is too specific.
No.
But for some reason, I was out of school that day. I was driving, so I must have been a junior or senior or something.
Yep.
I mean, whatever. I was driving, and I had to go to a dentist appointment or a doctor's appointment on my own.
Yeah.
And he was still, it was like 9:30 or something, so I was missing school.
Yeah.
And this is too specific. And he was playing Jerry Reed, Amos Moses. And there's a lyric that says he could eat his weight in groceries. And then the bass player went boom, 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 boom. And he's on the air, I'm listening, and he says, in the middle of the song, he could eat his weight in groceries. And my dad opened the mic like my son Bo. And I was shocked that I heard my name on the radio, but I was shocked that he was putting me down.
Yep, that's cool. That's a neat thing. That's kind of the equivalent. I think a band, the first time they get to hear their song on the radio. I mean, that must be a super cool experience.
Yeah, no, you hear all those groups say that.
Yeah.
But
that's great.
No, it was fun, and you were special in school. I mean, they knew who you were.
Yeah,
Your dad was a star.
Yep, that's fun. That's fun.
And it was exciting. It was great because your dad wasn't a mortgage banker.
Right, exactly. They always have those.
They knew your dad.
TV episodes or movie scenes where it's go, share your career day at your kid's school, and it's always embarrassing if you're got this boring job.
Yeah. Now,
do you remember that Dick Van Dyke episode? That's an old reference, but we've been watching them with our kids because they're entertaining for us, but they're still appropriate for the kids. And
right.
Here he gets to go in as a comedy writer.
Yes.
And at first, his little son just thinks he just goes in and he writes stuff, so that's not going to be very exciting. But then he ends up doing a whole kind of comic routine for all the kids and slapstick comedy and just it's such a cool thing. I think that's like we all kind of want to be the hero for our kids and impress them.
I got a job offer in San Jose.
Yeah,
one of the most expensive places to live.
Yeah,
and we were going to leave northern Arizona and go there, and I knew that we couldn't afford to live there.
Right. Yeah,
because we left L.A.
Yeah,
and
right.
San Jose is more expensive than L.A.
Yeah,
and but I needed a job, and we were negotiating, and I asked my family, my mom's opinion, my dad's opinion, and my mom said, "Don't you remember how exciting it was to have your dad on the radio, and you were in that town, and everybody knew your dad?
Yeah.
You know, you could do that with your kids."
Right.
And I said, "Yeah, but 1,000 square foot home in San Jose costs $1.5 million.
Yeah, seriously.
Not doing it.
No, that would be rough. That would be super tough.
So this is our second podcast.
Yep.
We don't know what we're doing.
Yep.
So how do we end this one?
We don't.
So do we just say, "Hey, nice talking with you"?
One of my favorite things with the kids is Would You Rather.
Nice. We're going to end it with Would You Rather?
We're going to end it with a very special case of Would You Rather. It's these questions. Would you rather?
I appreciate that. I was talking more specifically, how do we end it? Do we turn the mic off? How do we end it? But if you want to end it this way, we can end it.
You can do a little song and dance or tap dance or something. That is a good question.
All right, let's do Would You Rather.
Okay, all right. These are ridiculous, okay? Would you rather fight 100 duck-sized horses, 100 duck-sized horses, or one horse-sized duck? That is your Would You Rather closer for this episode. Would you rather fight 100 duck-sized horses? If you're listening, you can think about this too. Or one horse-sized duck.
Well, when you started, I was saying go with size.
Yeah, right.
You know, do the duck-sized horses.
Yes.
But that could get overwhelming.
Yeah, 100 of those little things rushing you.
Yes.
That's a
From
little
all
terrifying.
Angles and flopping and flying or
although
whatever,
horses
galloping,
aren't,
I don't know.
I mean, it's not like they bite or...
Right. But on the other hand, if you had a horse-sized duck, you could punch it and it wouldn't do anything.
Right.
You would be working on that thing for
I know.
hours.
Have you been like over at a lake? I mean, it's not so much with ducks, but when the geese, those things are wicked.
Well, and think about that. Okay, you got a horse-sized duck. By the way, you've confused me. I don't know if I'm fighting ducks with wings or horses or you've confused me. But think about that. You got a horse-sized duck.
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to go over there and wring his neck.
Right.
Could you wring a horse's neck?
No
Let
way.
alone a duck the size of a horse?
No.
No way.
No. I would. I think now that I'm thinking about it, I'd rather face the 100 little horses the size of a duck. 100 of those little things.
Okay, then how would you attack it? Because, see, when you say duck-sized horses,
right,
I'm thinking that you're going to fight 100 things with wings and beaks. No, you're fighting horses.
Yeah.
So what would your approach be? What? Would you punch him in the Adam's apple?
Right.
Would you grab his hind hoof?
I guess.
Swing him by the tail, maybe?
Yeah, the tail would be good. You could just punt
if it's
them. You could just
duck-sized,
kick them.
Yeah. If it's duck-sized and it's got a tail because it's a horse,
so stupid.
you could really grab him by the horse, grab him by the tail, and just throw him.
Fling him. And maybe
but they would gallop right back at you.
Maybe bowling style, you could
bowl them into, throw them into others.
You hit one and take down.
I don't know. I'm going to go officially with the one horse-sized duck because I would be overwhelmed with 100 animals. Fighting 100 animals.
I get that. I think I'm going to go the other way. I would rather fight the 100 because a duck that's the size of a horse is just terrifying. It just take one. I've seen what they do pooping on docks.
Nice.
If one the size of a horse lost itself there on you, that's so disgusting.
So
to think about.
would be a horse-sized duck dump.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. So,
say goodbye, Ron.
All right, goodbye, Ron.